Hello everyone and welcome back once again to Gary Grigsby's War in the East. I want to continue here with turn 9. I've actually been thinking a little bit, and I was thinking, why would you make places like this into, like Armenia, into non-movable areas? I found that to be pretty weird and maybe even a little bit suggestive of what might be to come here. In the sense that maybe in some future DLC they will allow, for example, Turkey to enter the war. And the same applies for this. It's like, well, you know, what if you put a lot of stuff in Finland? They might be able to take this territory by that. Yeah, so they might be able to take this here territory if you put a lot of units in there or something like this. Could happen. And the same for, you know, Turkey, that they would be able to go into this area. It would be contested or something. I can see that happening. Anyway, let's get started. I only have further down low to take care of. There are no more units in there, I think. So I'll move this down. 46th Infantry Division in itself is not doing well, but I'll move down. I want to move as many units down as possible, actually, for whatever encirclement I can do here. Retreated with you, and yeah, let's keep them there for now. They're part of this, so this mountain division can probably link up somewhere down there, maybe. Right. Obviously they're gonna kick those guys out. How useful is that Luftwaffe field division going to be? I need to put something in here any which way. So let's get that Romanian unit to at least get those guys at an X. And really, I'll put that Luftwaffe field division under the 4th Corps. I don't think it's... oh, crap. Or 3rd Panzer, but I think I can actually put something better under 3rd Panzer. Let's put these guys under... So preferably I'll put mech units there. Let's put 12 Panzer Division in there. And that was part of 4th Panzer Army. Thing is, I need to move these rail units again because I'm not taking any territory here. They're kind of useless. And I do need one here, for example. Yeah, let's send them up. And I need the other one to go and work around rail here, basically up towards Tula. Yeah. So let's send them over to Castor now. It kind of sucks, but, you know, I just don't have a use for them in there. And they're just taking up space, which is not good. So. At any rate, I have 4th Panzer Army, which can take another unit. And the 17th Corps can do so as well. One, two, three, four, five. I'd be pretty loath to put another Luftwaffe field division. How is... I can put something under the 4th, or... yeah, 4th Corps here. These guys. Then, yeah, there we are. All right. Now that we've taken care of those things, I need to do this. If they move down 2 hexes, I'd be in trouble. But I need to keep them here either way. Yeah. Kinda do. Okay. That's fine. And then 8th Italian Army is still overburdened. Because I have some units in the wrong place. Army Group B can actually take some. And taking these guys out of the 2nd Italian Corps. Second Hungarian Army technically also cannot take anything at this point. These guys are also under the Italian Corps if I get them. Yeah, it's fine. Alright. Let's take a look. Balkans is at 101. Italy 98.79. Nothing to do there. Africa. Can I take out anything? The answer is no. Soviet Union garrison is at 100. Finland at 100. Norway 108. But again, I cannot take out anything. And then Western Europe 96, 82, 96. I have not enough there in either way. Which means that I would need to send stuff there. For sure, but none of this stuff is doing particularly well. So, like, they're all, you know, getting units, things like that. There's nothing to be done. There are some units. Croatian Infantry Division supposed to go to Balkans in a while, then we'll see what will happen. But I can't do anything in any of those. Alright. That means we've taken care of pretty much everything, I think. Let's only take a look at the OKH. And, oh. Hello. That's the 707th Infantry Division. That's the unit that I want to exchange for the security unit up here. I talked about that a while ago. And the moment is finally here. So I'll send them there. The security unit will be able to free up more troops in the garrison, basically. That's just the swap that I'm making. Yeah. Anyway, I do have 19 points. So Henry is quite good. I want to see if I need to switch up some generals. Because to be fair, especially when it you see, he does have 7 infantry, but he has only 5 admin, this guy. So that's not super amazing. I can find another 7 with 7 admin, for example. 5 mech, Friedrich Schultz. Let's see, I don't mind 3 mech either. How is he on initiative morale? 7-6. Let's actually see further up north, because I actually want to. Let's see about this guy, because this is going to be a tough spot. Admin 5, initiative 5, morale 6. I really think, at least in terms of them, should be trying to do a little bit better. Friedrich Schultz. Because these guys are going to have to do the heavy work going to Sjastroy. Or is it a V? Svastroy? I have no clue whether it's a V or a Y. I always thought it was a Y, but maybe it's a V. Sjastroy, yeah, okay. Volkov is within striking range. Taking it now would cut this at least from the rail. They would have to use truck movement. Damn it, this is exactly why it is so important to check everything. I almost missed that unit. And I don't want to say I'm having a hard time seeing where I might be shipping units at any given moment. I guess you got here this turn. Yeah. Let's take a quick peek at the reinforcement withdrawal schedule for now and for next turn. This turn got a bunch of stuff. Most importantly, yep, okay. I need to look at the OKH again. Take a look at the support units that are there. And I'm gonna send a few support units to the 6th Army here. And then a heavy panzer battalion will be sent over to the 1st Panzer Army. The question is, where is that unit? The 9th Luftwaffe Field Division. I'm gonna have to take a look. They're on the rail because they haven't moved. I don't want no air bases. The 9th Luftwaffe Field Division. There it is. At the very least, it should be on Army Group B to have a chance of a better roll. So, there it is. They take care of the support units, I think, for OKH now. Yeah. And the Kempf Detachment Army should be under Army Group North. Yes, there we go. That works. Let's take another look. Just some units arriving like that. What's going to happen next turn? This flak. Ah, this Romanian infantry division part is back. In turn 10 in the reserves, finally. Then Narva Estonian infantry battalion. To the map. Hungarian light division. Fortress Romanian infantry division. Flank regiment, Stuck battery, 1st Panzer to Western Europe. It's already No, I don't think so. Fifth Panzer Army will arrive. Alright. Nord SS Mountain. We'll get to the map. Alright, that should be looking good for the next turn in terms of reinforcements as well. Getting that unit into the Western Theater would probably get it close to 100. But I'd rather eventually just get units from the reserve. Like, I don't... This Sturm Infantry Battalion, for example, I'll just send it to Western Europe. Ultimately, these units are not going to contribute all that much. So we'll just continue to shift around forces and things like that until we have that covered. Anyway. Let's take a quick peek at the depots, because I... I'm in a bit of a pickle. Down there. Cannot put any depots in any of those positions either, unfortunately. We'll put a depot up in there. This is getting a lot less important. This one is good. And let's take a quick peek at these Hungarian units, whether they need to be on refit or not. I think I already took care of it, apparently. Yeah, I did. What is their fortification or construction value? It's not actually that bad. So. Alright, this is the moment I've been dreading. Let's go. We'll go into January 21st. So, that is almost over. If anything, I might be able to hold Stalingrad beyond the historical capture date. There's just no freaking way that you'll be able to hold Stalingrad until February in this game if it gets surrounded. No freaking way. The Soviets will easily take it a month or two earlier in this game if you don't defend it. Like, it's just weird. Like, that's just obviously not going to be possible. So that's kind of weird, but doesn't matter. At least the Soviets, if you look at it, like for Voronezh, they're already, if they take it this turn, they're one turn early. But if we defend it now, they're gonna be able to capture it on historical dates. So even for Voronezh, the Soviets usually do put heavy emphasis on it, at least from what I've seen from all the other players as well. So. That makes it quite interesting. One thing that's pretty nice is that here there are a lot of woods that might be very defendable if I can get there and then dig in or something. Given that I'm not gonna go for the victory, that might allow me to get a pretty decent holding position on this side. And then of course Litebsk has some pretty important factories. Same like at Stalinogorsk, where they apparently have some stuff. These are not looking very well, but I would still imagine that these guys don't have that much firepower. 20, 22. This is pretty fragile. They did attack though, interestingly enough. We lost a lot more units, but they lost a lot of planes too. Also interesting that they keep pushing there quite a bit. To no avail, at least for now. Not quite sure how well they're doing on the supplies in there. It can't have been better than before. So second shock army had minus 30 in terms of I guess their supplies and stuff. 54th, 67th is at minus 10. Again, a lot of tanks, but the Soviets get an insane amount of tanks each turn, either which way. Yes, 100,000 men attacking that. And here too. Lost a lot of Stugs. Interesting, again, these guys have 338, suggesting they can move a lot. 40,000 men. This time they held. They must have been pretty exhausted by any means, I would expect. Yeah. The fourth Romanian corps is the Romanian corps is at minus 16 there. This time they did not attack Stalingrad itself. It's really sucky that these guys also got pushed back here. It's a weird attack though. They did not attack Stalingrad Hex itself this time. But further south. Big problem with most of these attacks is that I'm taking pretty severe losses as well. They pushed me back quite a bit there. Minus 36 for those Romanians. Interesting that this now shows 3-9, but I guess after that heavy attack up there, it's to be expected. All of these places have a lot of supplies from what we can see now. Either which way, especially at Voronezh. There's also a reasonable amount of supplies there, and at Leningrad. So they don't seem to be having that much trouble still. They put a depot right next to Nimbolochi because that part is broken. Yeah. Okay. I mean, didn't have that many men there. Yeah, so they did move, but they didn't attack. As I expected, they might not. Given that they had to take that hex, that's worth quite a bit. With luck, I'll be able to cut off these 3 forces from Tuapse if they don't move in there, which is unlikely, but we'll see. Oh, okay. Huh. I mean, I knew these guys were exceptionally weak, but I didn't know that they had that many forces there. Nothing, huh? Huh. 26,000 men there too. These kind of things are always... They must have had them in reserve or something along those lines. It's not altogether clear where these troops come from. A unit with 10,000 men for the Soviets is also not a full strength division, so... At least not as far as I'm aware. Okay. So they were able to encircle these guys. I'll get back to them. We saw that the Soviets had a very large amount of units over there, so it's not... Ultimately, it's not very surprising that they're able to muster up the force to attack in certain positions there. Seems like they broke out once again because they put a cavalry in there. Not sure what cavalry that is. One of the problems that we still face is that the Soviets are basically able to muster up a good 20 to 40,000 men wherever they want to attack. They can't do that on every hex, but they are able to do that on enough hexes that it's an actual problem. Okay. And like in here, I guess they tried to attack from out of the pocket. Not that great of an idea here indeed, from that side. But it'll be hard even to get these guys encircled, because I just straight up don't have the forces. I find it interesting that they're trying to get to Kalinin here too, just trying to push in there. They have plenty of tanks apparently as well. But it seems like they're done attacking. Also, their depots are finally kind of getting out of stuff. Right, I guess doing this will probably take a long time. Forming front line. Well, we'll see. At any rate, they seem to have pulled out some guys again, showing that the AI is still using teleport mechanics. There is no way that if the AI is using regular movement, they can move into this hex. It would require all, with a regular infantry, which is what they did. It will require all their movement, and that's why it can't have been like that. Right. We're still not actually at the forest belt around Moscow here either. I mean, taking Volokholamsk, Mozhaisk, and potentially Maloyaroslavets is nice, but we're not there yet. And last year the Germans got to Istra, Stalingrad, you know. I don't think they took Kubinka. I basically had these hexes like this. Maybe not even this. And then up here. So I guess their northern jaw did a lot better than the southern jaw in that sense. Although the southern jaw went all the way around, had much more ground to cover, and wasn't poised to strike directly at Moscow. Not that I think that they would have taken Moscow had they been more, had 2nd Panzer been more directed at Moscow in 1941. I don't think it would have made a difference ultimately. But it is interesting that they were forced to sweep all around, and they took a huge swath of territory there, obviously unable to hold it, as we've seen historically happened. Rather, the Germans would have been much better off holding in front of Moscow. I guess they kind of needed to try. Like, because the option was there, I don't think they could have done with not trying to go for it. Obviously, in hindsight, you could say, well, they failed, so it was better that they would hold. But if there's an off chance that the Germans would have been able to hold Moscow and defend it, say that they would think there's like a 5% chance that that would succeed. Well, I actually think they might be justified in trying to go for it. Anyway, partisans, again, there's a garrison shortage, raids, yeah. We lost 1 point again. That actually, in the context of what we're trying to do, that really, really sucks. I think. I thought 5th Army must come from down south. 5th Panzer. Not. I'm supposed to have another army here now. 5th Panzer Army. Oh, but since they come from North Africa, they come from Graz. Okay, that's fine. Sweet. Let's take a look at what we might be able to do. We can encircle these guys by moving in here, which is already pretty good. Pretty interesting. Wow, this hold, okay. This is also getting trickier and trickier. I might actually have to go all the way around. Interesting. Interesting. They would allow me to at least cut off Kobona. Ah, crap. Boy, oh boy. A fortress. Ain't that something? But I think I can strike at least at Volkov. Probably take it. And still put the 2nd SS Latvian motorized in here. Cutting at least Kobona off. Turning it from an exporting port to an importing port in order to sustain this. That in itself is not particularly important. What is important is getting all the way up here, of course. It's the only thing that matters. If I can also move into this hex, that gives me 2 hexes closer to the goal. Which is pretty important. Let's take a look. Yeah, victory points went up, but high watermark Total men for us remains relatively the same. Soviets go down by 60k in total. Total guns for the Soviets going down. AFE's up. It's just insane. Manpower losses for the Soviets last turn 203,000 men. Gun losses, AFVs, total aircraft. For us, in terms of fuel stores, they actually went up a bit, but they're kind of stagnant now. So even with all the oil that we're getting, it's, you know, it's not going up. Oil stores also not actually going up, remaining the same. For the Soviets, surprisingly, it's going down. Interesting. In the reserve. Finally, we have this remaining unit immediately going to 93, so it's nice that they got that kind of stuff back. Puto AT gun, 25mm. Not good enough. Not good enough. At least I'll send the heavy flag to the west. There's not a whole lot that actually went up to good strength here. But I think we'll be able to make something out of the next turn, actually. Should certainly be interesting, I think. I really think these guys should be sweeping around in order to make it harder for these guys ultimately, and I need to try and get into their back. Like, I don't think trying to encircle them here ultimately, especially with these new rifle corps coming in from here, is going to be that great of an idea. This is just dumb because the Soviets are just basically giving me the first Guards mechanized corps here. That's just, yeah. Good for me, I suppose. Yeah. Anyway, pretty interesting thing here. We'll be going to turn 10. I want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please do consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe. I'm certainly having fun with this, and I hope you are too. Did we hold Elista? Wow. Okay, seems like they didn't push for it. Interesting. They did get another unit, or another corps out here as well, so they are definitely also trying to push again on this side. They got some reinforcements, but not a lot of ammo. These guys got some ammo, but not a lot of reinforcements. Well, things are tricky around Stalingrad, but one of the things that I also find pretty interesting here is that it soaks up a lot of Soviet units, which is kind of good for me, I guess. Because it means I can advance on other fronts. Right. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.